What's going on, everybody? This is the Ground Up Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron, and this is
Keisha Rock.
and this is episode 47.
All right, y'all. Listen, learn, and most importantly, be inspired. Today, we're bringing you Darrick Hanks-Harris, better known as Mr. Baker, for his incredible cake business, and also founder of the Black Villages of RVA. Welcome, Darrick.
Thank you. Glad to be here. It's a pleasure.
Can y'all sense my excitement?
Oh,
I am so
girl, we
excited to
ringing
chat
it
with
today.
you.
Talk about phone. We live. How y'all doing?
Okay. Look, somebody started calling.
Oh,
Messed us up. But anyway, I am so excited to be here and to be talking with you, Darrick. I met you recently and I was so inspired by you and all that you've created and all that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
you're well known as Mr. Baker. I guess we can start there. What is that? Who is the man behind Mr. Baker and why they call you Mr.
Ooh.
Baker?
Well, Mr. Baker came about from, let's see, how Mr. Baker, the bakery or baking started in general was from my aunt. My aunt, she passed away from pancreatic cancer back in 2019. And she passed, and it's been about like 3 years now. She instilled, I didn't want to play basketball when I was 8. And from 8, I went into the kitchen. I was maybe like 5'11".
Yeah.
Around
So everybody
10,
wanted you to play
11,
ball.
12. Yeah, everyone wanted me to play basketball.
And you said, I want to bake.
They say you got big hands, so you can go ahead and play. I said, girl, bye. And her boys, my cousins, they went to college professional basketball and everything and such.
Wow.
And I'm just like, oh, I don't do that. I don't bake cakes. So I see her make cakes and how long the process was to bake the cakes. So in middle school and high school, to this day, I have customers from middle school and high school.
So you
like
started
20-year
with
customers.
her and you started.
Well, no,
selling them,
more
or-
so. I started watching her mess up on the cake. So I did cookies and brownies and
Okay.
cupcakes and all the little small treats in middle school. So I did those in middle school and high school. I was known as the cookie man. And it was just imagine. And after in high school, SOL time, you got somebody, what dad gave the cookie man that with them cookies, like $3 for $1. Like it was going fast. It was
So
going
wait a
fast.
minute, let's talk about that. So you pick up the skill from your aunt and you realize that you're perhaps a little bit different because you said, hey, I don't want to play basketball, even though like physically I have the skills, I want to bake. But something else inside of you said, I can use this and profit from it. Where did that mindset come from?
Child, that the business mindset came up when I wanted some shoes and clothes when I was in middle school. My mom said, no, you can wait. You know, my mom's old school. She didn't wait for Christmas. You're going to wait to tax time.
Oh,
Let's be real. So I said, oh, I go ahead and make my own money. I made $30 a day selling cookies.
oh my goodness. And look
And then
what that's
probably,
manifested to.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
when did you start? So your cakes, I mean, they're actual legit cakes now. They're not just like cookies. And I mean, not that cookies are not legit, but like
So
you make these fancy cakes. Where did that craft come from? I mean, did that come from your aunt or did you like, acquire that skill from somewhere to make these type of cakes?
no, just creativity. I see it in my brain and I just do it.
Darrick.
I would say it came about more so after high school. I was in college. That's when I started making cheesecakes. And my mom, she would tell you, she said, child, my whole kitchen was just a bakery since middle school. Child, he just took over every kitchen we went to. Gas, electric, gas, electric, gas. I'm like, oh, this is mine. And this the one kitchen, the kitchen is mine. She said, but I have to cook too, girl. You cook tomorrow. I'm making right now. But the craft of the skill set of those actual real cakes came about when my sister, she knew the manager at the time of Sweet Teas down in Shaka Bottom.
Okay.
That was back in 2015 rather, I'm sorry. Before Sweet Teas, I made my nephew cake. He asked for a paintball cake, and that's when I made my initial first real creative cake.
Mhm.
I didn't want to make cakes at all. I thought cakes took too long. The process of making it was just no, and it's nothing small. So I started making it. Then my sister got me into Sweet Teas, and I started making cakes for them. And I would make them 8 cakes. This 8th cake would be at that time I would call it a wild card cake. And the wild card cake would be anything as such as the Reese's cupcake, which then made the Reese's cupcake kind of threw me out there in a sense because I made the top 15 places before you died in 2017. I
What?
was the only home baker on the list. Sugar Shack, well, no, Sugar Shack was on the list. What is that? It's out in Carytown. What is that? The
Harry
cake place.
Cupcakes?
Now, Carytown Cupcake was on the list also. It was all these prestige bakeries, but
Right.
Shindigs was on the list.
Yeah.
They was 14 and I was 15. And I
Yeah.
was like,
You're like, how did I do that?
Wow.
Well, how
Keep
did you
thinking.
do that? So do you feel like it's something that's come natural, or has it been something you've had to work at?
Something come natural.
Comes natural
It's
for you. Now
more
let's go ahead.
go ahead. The more I think about it, it really did come natural. I prayed about it. I put it on the list. I put it on the altar, and I just kept praying. I kept praying. I kept praying, and then the action of it, of that prayer, it manifests itself. And I mean, I thought, I was like, "Is this it, God? Is there more? It's more? Okay,
It's
okay,
more.
cool."
Oh my gosh, I love it. So if the craft has come natural, how has the business sense come for you? How have you geared to make this? Because is this your sole income, baking?
So income, yes,
Sole
it is.
income. So how have you managed to do that?
Push. You wake up. Some days you don't make money. Some weeks you don't make money. Some days you have to tell customers, "Hey, this is what I do." And I feel like most people think it's a craft and they don't see the business side.
Mm,
And that's the hard part because you send an invoice out and they can pay it 1 week in advance or they can pay it the day of. Most 95% of them do pay the day of, but the other 5% this thing is, well, I pay when I get paid. So I'm like, do you treat Louis Vuitton and Gucci like that?
right,
Or Coles or JC Penney's or any other store? You just swipe that card because you want that product.
right,
So you should treat us as the same way you treat these other corporation stores.
right.
I'm
So
sorry to turn that into a question. Wow. I'm sorry.
no, that hit a spot. And I feel like that's relatable. As small business owners, you still deserve that same respect, if not more. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you can.
The real work and heart you put into your business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about the Black Villages of RVA? So,
Huh.
we know you're Mr. Baker. We know your cake business is booming, y'all. His Thanksgiving sale is going on right now. So,
Mhm.
you
Please,
know,
please, please sign up for that sale. Get that.
yeah.
Hey, don't wait till last minute because I'm a last minute queue. I'm a last minute queue.
But also outside of Mr. Baker, you are the founder of the Black Villages of RVA. And
Hmm.
so on your website, it says that the mission is to be the center of growth within the local Black community. We hope to provide equitable resources that help others to stay connected with Black-owned businesses, organizations, projects, and platforms. Most importantly, we aspire to assist circulating our money within our community to provide new opportunities for people who look like us and to beat all odds. I
Listen.
fucking love it.
Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Black Village came about. I was a burnt out business owner. And
Huh?
I think the month of October typically is that burnt out phase for a lot of us. Summertime is
And that's
over,
when
people
like
going
the
back to school.
holidays are ramping up, so that can be a
Yeah,
really busy time.
it's busy, but really September is cute. You can still see people ordering cakes and birthday cakes, but now schools have started back up. To this day now, I'm more so in that burnt out phase. I'm
Mm,
burnt out and I'm pushing for a holiday, but since this the new inflation that the Biden administration, I love Biden administration, amen, hallelujah, Democratic all day long. But as for a Black entrepreneur right now, if you don't push your brand and your advertising and your marketing, things are just going to be shaky and hard for you. Your customers that you had in the last 5 years, they're really not going to come back. You
mm,
have to push them
yeah.
to come back.
Marketing, right? So
So
like heavy, more marketing.
yeah, heavy marketing. The Instagram promoters, we use that a lot.
Yeah.
That's for Black Village and Mr. Baker. But as far as October, the month of October itself, it is the month of completion in the spiritual realm. So if the month of completion is about to start out back over for new holiday season, the Black Village came about because I was burnt out. I was over it. I was gonna find me a job and say, fuck this. I'm gonna give me a
Ooh, were
9 to
you?
5. Excuse my French. Seriously, I was burnt out. And
Yeah.
I met my treasurer, Miss Francis. I met Francis, and she said, you know what? You should come to this Black farmers market. I said, okay, cute. I come show my face, whatever. To come and find out, everybody there knew who they knew who I was,
They knew Mr.
what I
Baker.
do. I'm like, damn, it's people like that. Wow. So I met her.
Oh wait, are you telling me that you realized that you had a brand? You realized that you had presence?
Well, I have presence, but I have presence, and I didn't. A lot of people know who Mr. Baker brand is, but they don't know who Darrick is. Mm-hmm. They've never seen a picture of me on my page. I just recently started posting pictures of myself for people to know who I am. They thought back in 2016, Mr. Baker was the old man making cakes. And I was just this delivery driver dropping it off. They said, where Mr. Baker? Is he ever gonna come in here? I said, no, my grandpa ain't coming in here, child. He ain't coming in here.
I would have let them think that. I like that.
Oh, you played
so I played it well, because when people started to figure out who you are as a person, they're trying to start either using you, they're trying to get free cakes off you, they're trying to get free ideas off you. And I'm like, well, I got to protect my ear gate. I got to protect me as a person, as spiritual as well. I got to protect me. So
October, you burnt out. This was October.
I was burnt out. Went to the Black Farmers Market. I went live. I put it on my Facebook, Instagram stories. Well, I went live on Instagram, and I actually met one particular vendor. I thanked her 2 months ago, actually, and she said, "Darrick, you can do this same thing in your own scale, and I promise you, in 3 to 4 months, maybe 6 months, you're going to be in the newspaper, you're going to do this, you're going to do that." I said, okay, thank you. Amen. I received it. And I would say I was so inspired. I did my first pop-up shop. December the 5th. Our first year anniversary is coming. We was going to do a gala for it, but that's coming next year or February. Look out for that. But I did it on December the 5th, 2020 at the Art Well on Hall Street. And the initial date that it was supposed to be on was that Friday. I said, we're just going to just put 5 or 10 vendors together and just see what happens. We got 8. And those particular 8 are now like, I feel like when you do it the right way and you don't steal vendors, you ask people in general to just come and be a part. As a whole and as a body, as a leader, your body would eat. So the people who was there, Miss Indy Radiance, her business has now, it's like, whoa, like over in the last 3 to 6 months. Miss Self Love Candle, she's actually opening her own shop in the next 3 months from now. It's already out. I don't know the name of it, but it's a lounge and you can make your own candles. I just seen her candles. It's an old lady.
What you telling me is that you believe that because these 8 vendors came together for you in like your first pop-up shop and decided to collaborate with you and went out maybe on a limb a little bit, but you think they have prospered due to that? Yes. Like they've been blessed? Yes. Is that what you're telling me?
Like Miss Indy Radiance have came to every last pop-up shops we had in the last 10 months. Well, this is the 10th month. So in the last 10 months, she has came to every last event and she has tripled her money.
Oh, in the last what you're also saying is that the Black Villages of RVA has been able to help bring light and bring business to these Black-owned small businesses.
Yes. So in the last 10 months, we have serviced more than 458 Black-owned businesses in the last 10 months. With just our brand alone. We haven't pushed, we haven't did no extraness, we haven't collabed with nobody. A lot of people to this day, the inbox is full. And I told them, I said, I do not want to collab with you because I don't want that spirit to rub off on the village. This is a village to help Black-owned businesses and not to make money off of Black-owned businesses.
So let's take a step back here because you're hitting on multiple things right now. So I want to make
sure.
I want to make sure we dig into it.
Cap me, honey, get me in there. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you tell me is that the Black Villages of RVA has helped several Black-owned businesses by by bringing exposure to them, by
Yeah.
giving them opportunities to, be at events and sell. So explain a little bit the structure of what the Black Village of RVA does. So explain like the pop-up shops. Like what are you doing to work with the Black owned businesses?
Well, it's a village. It truly is a village. We have, I would say, to see the growth from December into now, to see the growth of the business owners coming in. Some of these business owners, I remember in February, 2 or 3 vendors never had a table. They just didn't know what to do. They never had a tablecloth. They never had sanitary. They have none of that. Another seasoned vendor who's been coming to the village for so long. Oh man, there's so many vendors. I'm thinking of a name in my head, and I think Kale's Customs. Kale's Custom. This is one of her products actually. She gives me bookmarks and
okay, Kale.
Kel, she make custom stuff as such, check her out, Kel's Custom.
So what happens is, are these businesses coming to you and like becoming a part of the village, and then you are hosting pop-ups for them to, have events to sell at and market themselves at?
So these vendors, these seasonal vendors like Kel's Custom and Inner Radiance and this seasoned vendors who came to so multiple of our pop-up shops, they teach these other vendors how to do it, how to set their tables up. And then more so, I'll walk around, I will go live on each table because I want you to make money. Yeah. And I feel like if you haven't made no money, now this is the disclaimer, hypothetically speaking, amen. If you haven't made your say our pop-up shop fees, one, what make us different than everybody else, one, we have the Richmond Diversity Center. We have worked with them. We have a solid contract with them. We have picked our days out that we already have in advance. So of next year, we already have days already scheduled. Right. Juneteenth, for instance, we had the 85, I want to say 85, 95% of our vendors from Juneteenth made more than what they expected to make. The highest person made $1,500, and the lowest average made $800 to maybe $650 at the lowest. So $850 was the margin that most people made, more than what they made on a regular pop-up shop.
So do you have this set up as like a membership, or is this something like any vendor can just?
To each his own. Anybody can come.
So they can
Black owned.
So any Black owned business here in Richmond, Virginia, I know we'll talk about how you're expanding, but here in Richmond, Virginia, if they're selling a product or a service, probably just a product because it's pop-ups, right?
Services. We had a young lady, she had a event type balloon set up. Mm-hmm. I told her to set it up.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
And one of my business advisors advised me as a business owner, so I advised my team, which I advised everybody else. I told them, I said, if you're trying to get more business in, it's best that you get people information, get their phone number, get their email, get their text, set up a text app, and test them when you're going to have a next event, or when you're going to have sales.
So are you doing that?
Customers coming in. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So all right. I just want to, so a lot of our audience are small business owners. So if you're a Black-owned small business owner and you haven't yet attended or been a vendor at the Black Village of RVA events, here's why you need to. So I'm hearing that you have a space. You have the Richmond Diversity Building, which is a central location here in Richmond. Right. So the fact that you have space, you have pre-planned dates of events that are upcoming. So like you're planning out in the future. You're already working on Juneteenth, and it's
listen. I want to plan this one out.
Yeah,
and Juneteenth is my baby. I love it. Yes.
And then you have proof of the pudding. The vendors who have worked with you are making money at these events. Yeah. So what you've created is, it's beautiful.
It's like a little community within the community. That's what I get all the time. It's like, well, I didn't know you was doing it. I say, yes, child, come on in.
So what I know about you from the, little bit of time I've been knowing you is that you are a visionary. And I know, you see the vision and you have the vision and you're already planning, you're always planning ahead. But what I also know is that, you can't do it alone. And you
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I created my team.
Created a board. Yeah. Your team. Let's talk about that, because a lot of entrepreneurs try to do it all on their own.
Can't do it.
It's not meant to be done on your own. So I
No.
think that's really, I think that's an important aspect to point out in your journey is that you did create a team. So let's talk about that.
So my team, Miss, who was the first one? Miss Victoria. Victoria was my Olivia Pope. Victoria currently, she's in Arizona studying. She's on her last her internship for her PhD. But Victoria was my first vice president.
Okay.
And she, man, I told her, I said, hey, you're on my team. She said, no, I'm not. And I just kept calling her.
You recruit people.
I was recruiting her. So Francis, who kind of inspired me to create it in a sense, I said, you're on my team. So she said, I'm just going to come to 1 or 2. I'm just going to just show up and show my face. And next thing you know, she's working with me.
Let me ask you this, Darrick. Why are you picking? What was it about these people that you were like, you're on my team? What was it? What are you looking for in people?
I look for strength. If you can endure something I know I can't say. I'm not a real talker. I am a talker, but Victoria, she can go into a room and just command. Look at me. I'm small, but my voice is Olivia Pope.
Mm-hmm.
She got that. Frances is the same way, but she's like, Frances is not mean, but she have her own. She can nitpick, but she like details.
And that's good. Details are good.
Right. So those two was just perfect. And that is a 3-man team. So I said, we might need a 4th person. So I hired Jade. Jade was my photographer, actually. Okay. Jade was my photographer. And also Jade and we butted heads a lot. So I needed somebody who can butt head. I say the vision. No, I don't think that's going to work. I think we need to go back to the drawing board. I'm like, why we got to go back? We just got here. We butt heads. But you need that person on your team, because if you're saying we're going to do it this way, no.
You don't need a bunch of yes men. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, you need somebody to butt heads with you, because it's not going. Trust me. The Black Girl Magic Festival was playing, and it was supposed to be in May, but Jade told me we should have it in the summertime, Baker. I didn't listen to her, and then we wound up having it in the summertime because I listened to her.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So So you were strategic about building a team.
Absolutely. Anybody and everybody can't be in your team. You have to think business logic first, because I would say the downfall to that, we had somebody on our team, and the reason I can't really say how we got into the diversity center, but it was a reason by it, and I seen it before it happened. Mm-hmm. And I stopped it and cut them off.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have to really look into them. Yeah. You really have to look into it.
Well, that leads me to asking you, because I know a little bit about you, specifically why I'm asking this, but how has your faith played into your entrepreneurship journey?
Ooh, wow.
Take us to church, Mr. Baker.
Let me take it to church. Hallelujah. I would say this, because my pastor don't most likely watch this eventually. Back in 2020, a lot of people don't know that I actually don't live in Richmond anymore. I live in Lynchburg, Virginia. There's the only one reason why I moved out here, because I go to the best church on this side of heaven, the Ramp Church International, led by Bishop S.Y. Younger. So every year we have a holy consecration, and we follow more so the Jewish calendar. So the New Year technically don't start in January, it started in October. And last year I did one thing. I put a bunch of, we normally put a lot of, like, if you go to prayer or Holy Week of Prayer, you always put water and oil and, just the basic stuff. I have crazy faith. Listen, crazy faith. So what I did, I took 25-pound bag of sugar and a 25-pound bag of flour. And I put those two things on the altar with a list of things. I said new business strategy on both pounds of, sugar and flour. Within 3 months, I was in the Washington Post.
Oh my goodness.
It's called Crazy Faith.
Crazy
If you
faith.
don't believe in your product or your business, it's not going to happen. If you don't push yourself in your faith to believe it, it's not going to happen. It's not going to manifest. So when I made the Washington Post, just 3 months later, I then had keys to a building within that same month, within March. Bishop said March will be the month of miracles. And I'm like, Bishop, yo, friend. The Washington Post, Dr. Jill Biden herself tried my pound cake 4 days before my birthday.
Oh my goodness.
Where they do that at? On February the 22nd.
That's incredible.
Like, I'm 31, a sitting first lady of the United States. It don't get no higher than that. Nice. Try your pound cake. And then I made the Washington Post. Like, my mom was like, yeah, my son made a Washington Post. Yeah. Yeah, he's big or whatever. Like, I'm like, okay. You know, then got to humble myself some more. Then I made the Richmond Times-Dispatch, not just once, but twice. Front page paper for the Black Village and Mr. Baker. The Richmond Times-Dispatch twice, the Richmond Free Press. This maybe like 4 or 5 other articles that I was in the Richmond Magazine. I'm like, wow, like, yeah, because of crazy faith.
Crazy faith.
Right.
Well, this leads me to, I know your crazy faith is leading you places with the Black Villages of RVA that's outside of RVA. So let's talk about that. What are you doing? Where are you going?
So the Black Villages, I told my team, I said, if you have a pot, and for instance, I want to show you a pot. Give me a second. Okay. I want to show you a pot. When you have a plant, and this is my little example, when you have a plant, the plant is nice on the outside, right?
Okay, so Darrick is showing us a plant right now, a beautiful plant. He's showing
from Cole's Plants. It's from Cole's Plants.
It's from Cole's Plants. Okay, this is where we're gonna break for the Cole's Plants ad. All right. How ironic! That's who sponsors our podcast.
That is crazy. Okay, yes. So this is Cole's Plants, and she'll be proud of me because it's growing.
Calling out to all my plant lovers in Richmond, Virginia. Cole's Plants on Church Hill is where it's at. Not only do they have a wide selection of plants, but Cole's Plants on Church Hill is a whole vibe. It's hip, peaceful, tranquil, and welcoming to all. Plants on Church Hill staff will help you find the perfect plant that fits you and your space. Browse their online showroom at colesplants.net or just go on in there. They're located in Richmond at 1003 North 25th Street. Tell them the Ground Up Podcast sent you by using the TGUP discount code for a special discount off your purchase. Details are in the show notes.
So when I told my team, I said, and this is just an example, I told my team, I said, when you have a vision as what I have, it will expand. And you see it on the outside, look beautiful and luscious, and your business is great and it's growing and everything, but you don't have a website and you don't have nothing pushing you outside of your city. You have to push yourself outside for other people can make it nationwide. So we would get rooted, the roots. I said this pot now is this the pot that we started with the Black Village. You see, it's small. We have to now take these roots and replant them into bigger roots, into a bigger pot. So, excuse me, I'm gonna picture my bigger pot. Now, this might be too big, but I got crazy faith. You got to get a bigger pot.
That's a big pot for that little plant.
It's a small.
But you know what, baby, you gonna put some good soil in it, though.
So we have the right now. What will be launching out next year. We already launched out the Black Village of Greensboro, the Black Village of Philadelphia, the Black Village of Dallas, Texas, the Black Village of Tampa, the Black Village of DMV, the Black Village of Houston, and now the Black Village of Richmond, VA. We're the headquarters. So crazy faith.
Crazy faith.
Expansion. You got to make this because this what's going to happen. This plant is eventually going to grow out this pot. These roots is going to expand. It's expanded. I really have to replant this, repot it.
Yeah, them roots they need to be repotted. So I mean, that was a beautiful, what you just put on a little analogy. Show for us there. Yeah.
So that was God right there.
Listeners should go over and watch this on YouTube.
Please watch this on the YouTube. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button.
But wow. Expanding, you're doing it. Mr. Baker, you are creating a legacy. How I don't know where to go from here. Yeah. What?
I mean, dope.
You've mentioned some great highlights. Any challenges you've had to overcome?
Oh, wow. When your cake make it to China 12 news, that's all I would say. I had a customer back when I was not really I was established enough as far as business people knew who I was. I never had an actual hard copy contract. So the young lady took me to court. Well, she tried to take me to court. She took me to China 12 for a cake that she ate. And what she didn't know, granted, you might have exposed me as my business was plainly horrible, but it's a few things. Like, she really took me to China 12, and Aaron really called me on the phone, and it was sad, it was heartbreaking, but it is something that you bounce back from. You make yourself a contract. You have a publicist. You have somebody to speak for you. You call legal aid or legal shield or something like that. Legal shield.
Mhm.
I have an actual lawyer now, but legal shield, you actually sign up for that to protect your brand and protect your name. You actually go get an LLC. You just don't be a sole proprietor, because somebody will take you to court for $73.82. That was somebody sued me for 2 cases. Yes, they did.
Wow.
But you protect yourself. You come back and you protect yourself. You protect your brand. If this is your bread and butter, this is not my side job. This is FYI. This is what I do for a living. This is a living. This is how I pay my lights. This is how I pay my rent. This is how I pay, people to do what I need to get done for my business. Listen, it's a lot. It's a lot.
That sounds like a learning lesson, but at the end, it made you level up and be even better.
Yeah. Because I remember I got a reckless driving ticket just last year, trying to make it to Richmond to sell a cake. But when in that courthouse, the judge was like, "Well, Mr. Harris, was you really speeding with?" I said, "Sir, I had cake slices." To the contrary, it was not a whole cake; it was slices. He gave me a pat on the wrist, and I kept going.
And he let you go.
I drive cruise control from now on.
Gave him
my
some
best
cake.
bet.
Gave him a cake, didn't you?
Yeah, I sure did. I said, "If you want a cake, let me know for Thanksgiving. I got you."
Oh man!
All right, Mr. Baker, what have you learned about yourself through building your businesses?
It's sometimes it's best to drive home quiet. As business start to grow, and expand and be like, wow, you listening to nothing is good for you, because now you can think about what you need to sell. You can think about what you can improve. You're listening to music. What you're gonna do, that music's gonna get into your spirit, into your dome while you're driving home. I got 2 hours to drive home, so I got a long time to think. I would literally get in the car, turn nothing on. I had AC running or the heat running. I'm just, wow, what can I do? And I have my phone every stoplight. I write something down. What can I improve? What can I do better than what I did today?
I love that.
That's dope.
I love that, because I truly believe that self-improvement is like a key driver in success and entrepreneurship. Because what I'm learning and what I see is that successful businesses really, if you're living your life, and I'm talking about like your relationship, your finances, your daily habits, your routines, if all that is a mess, what you think your business is going to be this, ultimate system, those habits bleed into your business.
Yeah. Now, far as I'm working on being on the Food Network for Mr. Baker, in order to get that, you have to go with somebody who's on the Food Network. So currently I am working with Mr. Baked Sweets out in Maryland. He's currently on Food Network. He's on Netflix and everything, and that's my dog. And we actually we share the same name. He is Mr. Baked Sweets. I'm Mr. Baker. And it's like, I'm learning from you. Yeah, we got the measures right. The last time I went up there, but it's it's the improvements that he's working on my speed. He's working on, you got to make your cake a little faster. I'm like, man, dude. But I'm trying to invest myself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's so important too, surrounding yourself with people and collaborating with people that can, help you improve upon you. And then you can you can also contribute your skills to him,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we got something in the works for next year for the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah.
We're working on something really, really big. I can't really say it until it's legally on paper. So,
I gotcha. All right. Well, we'll wrap up with, where do you see, what's the vision for both Mr. Baker and the Black Villages of RVA? And then I also just want you to give some, some inspiration, some guidance to people starting out in their entrepreneur journey.
Right.
Well, the vision with the Black Village of RVA, I can't really go in depth with it, but in the next 6 months, y'all will see something bigger than what it is. It's definitely more than a pop-up shop. Is at this point, most people say I am creating a legacy because we have so many different festivals and stuff. And I feel Richmond needs more Black festivals. We have the 2 Street Festival. Then, they come out with the Folk Festival. Well, now we have the Black Girl Magic Festival. We have the Harvest Festival. We have Juneteenth Block Party. We have the Richmond, the Christmas edition, which is like our last bang out of the year. So we have a festival now happening, the Spring Fling Festival. We have festivals in every season. So there's no excuse why you ain't making no money. Hallelujah. But inspirational thoughts for new business owners. Find yourself a business advisor. Start there. And don't find somebody of your age. Find somebody maybe 5 years or 10 years older than you. Somebody who's been in this business for a long time and who can teach you something. Because to be honest, I have mentors and people tell me I'm their mentor. I'm like, hi, I ain't never talked to you a day in my life. You see my Instagram, okay. But I have a mentor who worked at UCross for 30 years and now she made cakes out of her house. She's a home baker. Her name is Cake Lady Laura. She's one of my mentors and she called me Worsome. She said, what you want, Worsome? Because I come to her house for everything.
Yeah.
Miss Gloria, actually, this is her last week making a cake for anybody. Miss Gloria, she has a shop on 9 Mile Road. She's been in the business for 50 plus years.
Yeah.
And I go to her for wedding cakes. And it's something when you go to a seasonal person versus going to somebody who's of age of 2000s or, my age. You can't learn from yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have to see yourself when you ask somebody for advice.
Yeah. I think something so special I want the listeners to take away from you is don't be afraid to call someone up because Darrick, you are good at reaching out, telling people what you want, what your vision is, what you need. And I think that's something that we have to do to be able to work together and be great to our full potential is collaborate, So use your voice, y'all. Use your voice. Don't be afraid to ask for help and don't be afraid to tell your vision.
Yeah, get out there. Get out there.
All right. Darrick, you ready to play the game?
Let's play this game, sis. Let's go ahead and play this game.
All right. Would you rather this or that? Would you rather overspend on clothes or overspend on electronics?
Electronics. Clothes can go out.
This or that? Ranch Doritos or nacho cheese Doritos?
Ranch.
Would you rather be known for your kindness or your sense of humor?
My sense of humor. I was comedian back in the day.
I can tell.
I was. Amen. Hallelujah.
All right. Orange juice or apple juice?
Oh, Jesus. Citrus, orange juice.
Citrus, orange juice. Add some champagne in that.
Listen, I'm a mimosa, baby. Hallelujah.
No apple juice, though, right?
A splash of orange juice, more liquor, though. Hallelujah.
Put that champagne, baby. All right, Darrick, how can the listeners reach you?
They can reach me on Instagram, Mr. Baker 26. Look for the apples, all one word. The Black Village of RVA on Instagram and on Facebook. Mr. Baker on Facebook. Just look for the gold M, and I'll be there.
All right, and everything will be in the show notes. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Beautiful, yes. Yes, yes, hallelujah.
Yes, Mr. Baker. Help us podcast from the ground up. Please rate and review an Apple Podcast. It helps further our reach, and your reviews mean so much to us.